Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Radhe Govind, Jai Mata Di. Welcome to this evening's satsang. We are going to commence with some preliminaries and cleansing mantras. All of you should focus your minds on Bhagavan. If you are seated in front of your puja place, sprinkle some water on yourself and on all the puja items around you. Om Pavitraha Pavitro Va Sarvavastangatopi Va Yah Smaret Pundarikaksham Savahyabhyantraha Shuchihi. Sip water in the palm of your right hand 3 times, doing Hari Smaran, thinking of Bhagavan. Om Keshavaya Namaha, Om Narayanaaya Namaha, Om Madhavaya Namaha. Then rinse your hands. Om Hrishikeshaya Namaha, Om Govindaya Namaha, Om Madhusudanaya Namaha. If you have a kus ring, you should put that on the right hand ring finger of your hand. Om Pavitre Stau Vaishnavyo Saviturvaha Prasava Utpunamya Chidrena Pavitrena Suryasya Rashmibihi तस्य ते पवित्रपते पवित्रभूतस्य यत कामः पुनेतच्चुकेयम्. You should now apply some chandan, that is sandalwood paste, using the thumb of your right hand. Start at the top of your nose and move upwards. Om Chandanam Vandyate Nityam Pavitram Papanashanam Apadam Harate Nityam Lakshmir Vasati Sarvadham. If you have not lit your house lamp, you should do so now. Om Bhodhipa Tvam Brahma Rupa Andhakara Nivaraka Imam Maya Kritam Pujang Grihastejo Pravardhaya Om Deepaya Namaha. Sprinkle some water on the earth, thinking of Mother Earth, seeking her blessings. Om Prithvi Tvaya Drita Loka Devi Tvam Vishnu Nadrita Vanshadharyaman Devi Pavitrang Kuru Chasanam. We are now going to commence with the recital of Ved and other Dhyan mantras. You should join in the recitation of these mantras as they will appear on your screen. And you should focus your mind on Bhagwan. Om. 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 Gurur-Brahma, Gurur-Vishnu, Gurur-Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Dhyan-Moolam Gurur-Murtihi, Puja-Moolam Guru-Padam, Mantra-Moolam Gurur-Vakyam, Moksha-Moolam Guru-Kripa. Om Swasti na Indro Vridashavaha, Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha, Swasti Nastarakshorarishtanemi, Swasti no Vrihaspatirdadatu. Dadatu. Om Payah Prithivyam Paya Oshadishu Payo Divyantarikshe Payo Daha Payasvati Pradishaha Santo Mayam. Om Vishnoraratamaси Vishnoho Snaptresto Vishnoho Syurasi Vishnordhruvasi Vaishnavamasi Vishnavetva. Om Agnir Devata Vato Devata Suryo Devata Chandrama Devata Vasavo Devata Rudra Devata Ditya Devata Maruto Devata Vishwe Deva Devata Vrihaspatir Devatendro Devata Varuno Devata. Om Dyaho Shandirantarikshabang Shandihi Prithivi Shandirapah Shandiroshadayah Shandihi Vanaspatayah Shandirvishvedevah Shandirbrahma Shandihi Sarvagam Shandihi Shandireva Shandihi Sama Shandiredhi. ॐ विश्वानि देव सवितर्दुरितानि परासुव यद्भद्रं तन्नासुवासु शान्तिर्भवतु। ॐ मानो भद्रः क्रतवो यन्तु विश्वतो दग्धासो अपरीतास उद्भिदः देवानो यथा सदमिद्विदेय सन्न प्रायुवो रक्षितारो दिवे दिवे ॐ देवानां भद्रा सुमतिर्जूय तां देवानागुं रातिरभिनो निवर्तताम् देवानां गुंसख्यमुपसेदिमा वयं देवान आयुः प्रतिरन्तु जीवसे ॐ तान् पूर्वयानि विदाहुमहे वयं भगं मित्रम् अदितिं दक्षमस्त्रिधम् हरयमनं वरुणागं सोममश्विना सरस्वती नः सुभगामयस्करात् ॐ तन्नो वातो मयो भुवातु भेषजन्तन्माता पृथिवी तत्पिता द्यौः तद्ग्रावाणः सोमसुतो मयूभुवस्तदश्विना शिनुतन्देष्ण्यायुवम् ॐ तमीशानं जगतस्तस्तुषस्पतिन्द्रियन् जिनवमवसे हूमहे वयम् पूषानो यथा वेदसाम सद्वृधे रक्षिता पायुर्धप्ता स्वस्तये ॐ स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तारक्षोररिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु ॐ वृषदश्वमरुतः प्रेष्णीमातरः शुभं यावानो विदतेषु जग्मयः अग्निजिह्वामनवः सूरचक्षसो विश्वेनो देवा अवसागमन्निः ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवा भद्रं पश्येमाक्षवीर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्ट्वागं संस्तनूभिर्व्यशेमहि देवहितं यदायुः ॐ शतमिन्नु शरदो वन्ति देवा यत्र नश्चक्रजरसन्तनूनां पुत्रासो यत्र पितरो भवन्ति मानो मध्याहीरिषतायुरगन्तोः ॐ अदितिर्द्यौरदितिरन्तरिक्षम् अदितिर्माता स पिता स पुत्रः विश्वे देवा अदितिः पञ्चजना अदितिर्जातम् अदितिर्जनित्वम् ॐ ह्रीचं वाचं प्रपद्ये मनो यजुः प्रपद्ये साम प्राणं प्रपद्ये चक्षुः श्रोत्रं प्रपद्ये वागौजः सहोजौ मही प्राणापानौ ॐ तं पत्नीभिरनुगच्छेम देवाः पुत्रैर्भ्रातृभिरुतवा हिरण्यै नाकं गृभणानः सुकृतस्य लोके तृतीये पृष्ठे अधिरोचने दिवः ॐ आयुष्यं वर्चस्य गुम्रायस्पोषमुद्भिदम् इदगुं हिरण्यं वर्चस्व जेत्राय विशतादुमाम् ॐ द्यौः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षगुं शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरौषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वगुं शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि ॐ यतो यतः समीहसे तथो नो अभयं कुरु शन्नः कुरु प्रजाभ्यो भयन्नः पशुभ्यः ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः सुशान्तिर्भवतु ॐ हे रम्ब त्वमेयहि अम्बिका त्र्यम्बकात्मज सिद्धि बुद्धि पते त्रयक्ष लक्षलाभ पितु पितः नागास्य नागहार त्वं गणराज चतुर्भुज भूषितः स्वायुधे दिव्यै पाशाङ्कुशपरश्वधे आवाहयामि पूजार्थं रक्षार्थं च ममाकृतः इहागत्य गृहाणा त्वं पूजां क्रतुं च रक्ष मे ॐ मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूतमुख्यं श्रीरामधूतं शरणं प्रपद्ये अञ्जनीगर्भसम्भूतं कपीन्द्रं सचिवोत्तमं रामप्रियं नमस्तुभ्यं हनुमान् रक्ष सर्वदा ॐ ध्यायेदाजानुबाहुं धृतशरधनुषं बद्धपद्मासनस्थं पीतं वसानं नवकमलादलस्फारदिनेत्रं प्रसन्नं वामाङ्कारूढ सीतामुखकमलमिल्ललोचनं नीरधावं नानालङ्कारदीप्तं दततमुर्जटा मण्डलं रामचन्द्रम् ॐ यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुवन्ति दिव्यैस्तवे वेदैः साङ्गपदाक्रमोपनिषदे गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततत्कतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुः देवाय तस्मै नमः ॐ वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् ॐ शान्तं पद्मासनस्थं शशधरमुकुटं पञ्चवक्त्रं त्रिनेत्रं शूलं वज्रं च खड्गं परशुमभयदं दक्षिणाङ्गे वहन्तं नागपाशाञ्चघण्टां डमरुकसहितम् आङ्कुशं वामभागे नानालङ्कारदीप्तं स्फटिकमणिनिभं पार्वतीशं नमामि ॐ या कुन्देन्दुतुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्मच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिभिर्देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा ॐ लक्ष्मी क्षीरसमुद्रराजतनयां श्रीरङ्गधामेश्वरीं दासीभूतसमस्तदेववनितां लोकैकदीपाङ्कुराम् श्रीमन्मन्नकटाक्षलब्धविभव ब्रह्मेन्द्रगङ्गाधरां तां त्रैलोक्यकुटुम्बिनीं सरसिजां वन्दे मुकुन्दप्रियाम् ॐ सीताराम पवनसुत हनुमान राधे कृष्ण की जय. We are now going to have bhajan and chalisa, and when we return we are going to recite Bhagavad Gita and do some explanations. And of course, Ramacharitmanas, Ram Katha is going to continue after the bhajans and Chalisa. Jai Sri Krishna. Dhiraj Bhai, we're going to have bhajan and Chalisa.
I'm sorry, Pandit Sajil. We're having some technical issues. We've lost one connection. Do you want to go on to the Bhagavad Gita?
Dhiraj bhai, you want me to recite the Chalisa or you want me to do Bhagavad Gita?
No, recite the Chalisa. Go ahead, please. Thank you.
Okay, all of you, all the listeners, all the devotees who are on this platform, I'm going to recite Hanuman Chalisa, and I'd like all of you to recite the Hanuman Chalisa in your homes. If you have not lit a lamp in your house yet, light a lamp while we're reciting this Chalisa. Shri Guru Charan Saroj Raja निज मन मुकुर सुधार बरनो रघुवर बिमल यश जो दायक फल चार बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेश विकार जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर राम दूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन बरन विराज सुबेशा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केशा हाथ वज्र और ध्वजा विराजे कांधे मूज जनेऊ साजे शंकर सुवन केसरी नंदन तेज प्रताप महाजगवंदन विद्यावान गुणी अति चातुर राम काज करिबे को आतुर प्रभु चरित्र सुनिबे को रसिया राम लखन सीता मन बसिया सूक्ष्म रूप धरि सियहि दिखावा विकट रूप धरि लंक जरावा भीम रूप धरि असुर संहारे रामचंद्र के काज सवारे लाय सजीवन लखन जियाये श्री रघुबीर हरषि उर लाये रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई तुम मम प्रिय भरत सम भाई सहस बदन तुमरो यश गावे अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीषा नारद शारद सहित अहिसा यम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते तुम उपकार सुग्रीवहि कीन्हा राम मिलाये राजपद दीन्हा तुमरो मंत्र विभीषण माना लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना युग सहस्र योजन पर भानु लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानो प्रभु मुद्रिका मिली मुख माही जलधि लांघि गई अचरज नाही दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते सुगम अनुग्रह तुम रे तेते राम दुआरे तुम रखवारे होत न आज्ञा बिनु पैसारे सब सुख लहे तुम्हारी शरणा तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे तीनों लोक हाकते कापे भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे महावीर जब नाम सुनावे नाशे रोग हरे सब पीरा जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा और मनोरथ जो को हिलावे तासु अमित जीवन पल पावे चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा साधु संत के तुम रखवारे असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे अष्ट सिद्धि नवनिधि के दाता असबर दीन जानकी माता राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे अंत काल रघुपति पुर जाहि जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाहि और देवता चितना धरहि हनुमत से ही सर्व सुख करहि संकट हरे मिटे सब पीरा जो सुमिरै हनुमत बल बीरा जय 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 हनुमान गुसाई कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाही, यो सतबार पाठ कर कोहि, छूटहि बंदी महा सुख होहि। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरीसा। तुलसीदास सदा हरिचेरा, की जय नाथ हृदय महडेरा। पवन तनय संकट हरन, मंगल मूर्ति रूप। राम लखन सीता सहित, हृदय बसाहु सुरभूप। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय। Dheeraj bhai, should I continue with Bhagavad Gita? Dear devotees, we are going to continue with the Bhagavad Gita recitals now, and we are reciting from chapter 6, and today we are doing verse number 18. Okay, I urge all of you to read the text that's on your screen, even if you're not reading the Sanskrit. You can read the Roman text that is there, but all of us should recite at least some of the verses of Bhagavad Gita whenever we can. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare, He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Yada viniyatam chittam, Atmanevyavatishtate, Nispriha sarvakamebhyo, Yukta ityujyate tadam. Shri Krishna Govinda Hare Murare, He Nath Narayana Vasudeva. Let's all try to recite this verse together again. Yada viniyatam chittam, Atmanevyavatishtate, Nispriha sarvakamebhyo, Yukta ityuchyate tadam. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Radhe Govind. We are continuing with this discourse of this chapter, which deals with Dhyana Yoga, the yoga of meditation. And in this particular verse, Bhagavan says to Arjuna, Yada, when, Viniyatam, when there is complete discipline, control of the senses, Chittam, the mind, Atman, Atmani, that means the mind is fixed on Param Atma, on God, Avatishtate, exclusively focused on Nispriha, free from any kind of yearning, want, vasanas, Sarvakamebhyo, and free from all kinds of enjoyments. Sarvakamebhyo, Yukta, established in yoga, in this process. Ityuchate tada, it is said, then it is said that such a person is established in yoga. So let's put all of these words, these beautiful Sanskrit words together into a sentence. Bhagwan is saying, when the mind is thoroughly disciplined and gets completely focused on God alone, then the person who is free from all kinds of yearning, all kinds of wants and desires, such a person who is in that state is said to be well established in yoga, and that person is called a yogi. In this particular instance, he is called a dhyana yogi, one who has mastered or become successful in the art of meditation. So now let us look at some of the ideas that arise from this verse. It seems very clear that in order to meditate, there must be discipline. How do we bring about this kind of discipline? I think that is quite well known to all of us that discipline comes with practice. One cannot establish a discipline on the spur of the moment because the nature of the mind and the senses is such that we will have lapses. And in order to get rid of lapses, there must be abhyas, there must be constant practice, repetitive practice. It is for this reason that we are asked to get into a routine on a daily basis. We do the same things, almost the same things every day in our approach to God. We get up, we have a bath, we get up early, we have a bath, we do Surya Jal, we do Japa, we light a lamp. Why is it that we are doing these same things over and over again? Why are we not looking for new things every day? Because it is through practice that we will become perfect and establish strength in what we do. In order for an athlete, for example, to become really good at running 5 kilometers, he's got to run those 5 kilometers regularly. And besides running those 5 kilometers every day, he needs to develop strength that will enable him to master those 5Ks, to improve his speed, to improve his strength. So he may go to gym, he may do breathing exercises, he may do swimming, all kinds of things that will enhance what he does within those 5 kilometers every day. Now, similarly, the seeker who is wanting to be a really strong yogi, one who is able to meditate well, discipline is his strength. Like the runner will go to gym, discipline will enhance what the yogi is trying to do. So discipline means that we stay away from things that will distract us. We stay away from things that will make it difficult for us to focus. And those things, all those things, the practices that I am talking about are called sadhana. Sadhana. We must engage in sadhana to make our discipline strong. And it is a complete discipline, not a partial discipline. Then, when the discipline is strong, we are able to sit still, we are able to sit cross-legged, we are able to sit in a place that is conducive to meditation. Then you take the mind and fix it on exclusively on God. Then we must be able to hold it there. How do we hold it there? We can only hold it there if we are free from yearning. Now, this is the biggest distraction in meditation. Generally, if you ask somebody to be disciplined for some time, they can be. You ask them to sit in a certain posture, they can for some period of time. You ask them to focus their mind on Bhagwan, they can for some period of time. But for how long? And why is it difficult to do it for a longer period of time? It is because there is something that is swaying us away, something that is attracting us away from that focus. And what is that? The enjoyments of this world. Anything that seems to be satisfying your senses is a distraction. So in this verse, Bhagwan says, Nispriha sarvakamebhyo. All kinds of enjoyments, you must give it up. So if you ask me, does it mean that we must have a dull life in this world? Does it mean that we must almost become like stones, be stagnant? I think the answer is most certainly no. But for as much of the day as possible, preferably the early morning, just before sunrise, one should meditate. And as one gets more engrossed in meditation, goes deeper into meditation, and starts to feel the benefits of meditation and the bliss of meditation, then one would want to wake up a little bit earlier and increase the time that is dedicated towards meditation. But the world in which we live in it is not conducive for us to sit for many hours in a day in meditation. Firstly, it's going to be hard to be successful. But more than that, this is a fast yuga. The time flies in a day. In Kali Yuga, it says the time felt in Kali Yuga, the days are much shorter, if you know what I mean. Okay? So there are many things to do, and we all have many responsibilities. In addition to that, we live in what we refer to as the rat race, where we are all scampering to earn a living, finding it difficult to earn a living, and there are many quarrels. Kali Yuga is the age of quarrel. All of these things are going to distract us from the meditation. So I am not saying that we must not meditate, because it is extremely important to meditate. But in order to be successful, we need to maintain these disciplines, and we need to give up this desire to satisfy our senses. Now, it will take a really strong person in this Kali Yuga to say, I am not interested in anything else. I just want to feel and experience God for as many hours in a day as possible. Therefore, the path of Dhyana Yoga is not an easy one. It is a difficult one for this age. And therefore, you will see that some texts, some Swamiji, some Gurus say that perhaps in this age of Kali, it is better to chant as much as possible and meditate when you can, when it is possible. Having said that, this must not be a distraction to any of us to want to meditate, because meditation is good for our general well-being. It is good for the mind, and it is most certainly what Bhagwan wants us to do. He wants us to focus our mind on Him. So all I can say is that if you want to be successful in this, you must make time to meditate, and you must be consistent. It must be part of your routine. With these words, we will end our discourse on Bhagavad Gita today, and we will now go to Ramcharitmanas. Jai Sri Krishna. We are going to start off the recitation with our invocation, our Ramcharitmanas invocation, which will also be coming up on your screen. And once again, I'm urging everybody to try to sing along as we recite this. जेहि सुमिरत सिद्धि होय सीताराम गणनायक करिवर बदन करो अनुग्रह सोय सीताराम बुद्धि राशि शुभ गुण सदना मूक होहि वाचाल सीताराम पंगु चरहि गिरिवर गहना जासु कृपा सो दयाल सीताराम द्रवो सकल कलिमल दहना नील सरोरो श्याम सीताराम तरुण अरुण बारिज नयना करो सो मम उरधाम सीताराम सदा क्षीर सागर शयना कुंद इंदु समदेह सीताराम उमारमन करुणा अयना जाहि दीन परनेह सीताराम करो कृपा मर्दन मयना बंदो गुरुपद कंद सीताराम कृपा सिंधु नर रूप हरि महामोह तम पुंज सीताराम जासु वचन रवि कर निकर सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय कथा आरंभ होता है सुनो वीर हनुमान हे रामा सुनो वीर हनुमान आसन को प्रभु आइए सिया सखा सहित भगवान सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय. Dear devotees, we are reciting Doha number 259 today of Ramcharitmanas, Balkand. Once again, I urge you to recite with me. लखन लखेहु रघुवंश मणि, ताकेहु हर को डंडू, पुल की घात बोले बचन, चरण चापी ब्रह्मांडु, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। दिसि कुंजरहु कमट अहि बोला, धरहु धरनि धरि धीर न डोला। राम चहहि शंकर धनु तोरा, होहु सजग सुनियाय सुमोरा। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। चाप समीप राम जब आए, नर नारि सुर सुकृत मनाए। सब कर संसहु अरु आज्ञानु, मंद महीपन कर अभिमानु। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। भृगुपति केरी कर बगरुआए, सुर मुनि भरन केरी कदराई। सियवर सोचु जनक पछितावा, रानी न कर दारुण दुख दावा। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। शंभु चाप बड़ बोहितु पाही, चढ़े जाहि सब सिंह संघु बनाही। राम चाहु बल सिंधु अपारु, चहत पारु नहीं कोहि कदहारु। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। राम बिलो के लोग सभा, चित्र लिखे से देखी। चितहि सिय कृपायतन, जानि बिकल विशेष। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। जय श्री राम। Lakshman ji, once he realized that Prabhu Sri Ram had fixed his eye on the bow, and he describes Prabhu Sri Ram as Raghu Vanshamani. That means the jewel of the Raghu Vansh, the dynasty of Raghu, the Surya Vanshi. He says Sri Ramji is the money, he's the jewel of that. Takeu hara ko dandu. Hara is another name for Bhagwan Shiv, Bhagwan Shankar. Okay, so just like how we say Hari Om in respect of Bhagwan Vishnu, we say Hara Om in respect of Bhagwan Shiv. He is also known as Hara. He says once, Tulsidas, he says once Lakshmanji saw that, what happened to him? Polakita gata bole vachana. In a very emotional state, with all the hair standing on his body, he started to speak. Now, when does one become emotional? By looking at another person. When you have great love for that person and you see them doing something wonderful, you start to feel emotional. So an example I will give you, if you did this when you were younger, you went to watch your child perform in the school play, and the entire school was there, and your child had to learn something off and present it in a manner that would be applaudable. And you see there and you watch your child doing this, and you start to feel emotional that your child is excelling and doing well at something. Another person next to you may not feel the same way watching your child. They may admire your child, they may commend your child, but they will not feel the same kind of emotion because there is a bond of great love. Now, Lakshmanji has this kind of bond with Prabhu Sri Ram, and therefore he knows now that the Lord is going to show his hand. The people of Mithila have heard of the great things that Ram has done. Lakshman and Ram have walked around this great Mithila. People have admired their looks, etc. But they have not seen the strength of his hand. And Lakshman ji now realized that the moment has come. Now you are going to see all the things you've heard about him. You're now going to see. That means he doesn't just look so good. He really is good at everything that he does. Charana chapi brahmandu. What does he do? Lakshmanji starts to press his toe onto the crust of the earth. Now we must put this into perspective. Lakshmanji is actually manifestation of Sheshnag, the one that supports the entire universe on his crest. And now we see that that same Sheshnag has come onto the earth, taken another form, and manifested as Lakshmanji, and now he's pressing his toe. You must know what kind of force he was exhibiting when he was doing this. But why was he doing this? He wanted to make somebody aware of somebody, or some beings aware of what was going to happen, in case they were not paying attention. Okay? What does he do? He then starts to speak, and what does he say? Disi kanjuraha kamata ahi kola. He's referring to the various manifestations of Bhagwan that support this universe, that support this globe. You must remember, if you look at the structure of the universe, what is it that holds all of this in place? What is it that ensures that there's a hierarchy, there's an arrangement of the planetary systems, there's arrangement of where the Earth is? What is it that prevents the Earth from spiraling out of orbit and colliding with something else? What is it that keeps all of this intact? It is the support and the strength of the Creator himself that manifests in different forms. And here Tulsidas ji is saying that Lakshmanji is addressing the great elephants that guard the cardinal points. Disi Kanjarahu, right? So these great elephants guard the cardinal points and make sure that it all stays intact. Then he also refers to Kamata, which is the Kachapa avatar, the avatar of Bhagwan as the divine tortoise. So, at the time that the ocean was being churned, the divine ocean was being churned, it needed to be churned by a mountain. And that mountain was the only thing that was able to go around the mountain like a rope was great Sheshnag, and therefore it's referred to as Ahi. But also Ahi is this serpent that supports the globe, and that mountain had to sit on something that was strong enough to support it so that the mountain doesn't sink into the water. And the only thing that could support such a mountain was Bhagwan himself. So Bhagwan took the form of the divine tortoise, and the mountain was placed on that tortoise, and then the mountain was turned back and forth, and the ocean was churned in order for all the wonderful things of this world to come out, and of course the negative things as well. Then he refers here to the great boar. So this is Varaha avatar. Bhagwan Vishnu's Varaha avatar. The earth was plunged into the nether regions, into the ocean, by a demon called Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyaksh. And Bhagwan took the form of the divine boar with his tusks, and he lifted the ocean up. Therefore, Tulsidas ji is insinuating here that all of these things, the elephants of the various directions, the tortoise manifestation of Bhagwan, the boa manifestation of Bhagwan, and the great serpent that we know as Sheshnag. All of these things are giving support to the earth. What is Lakshman saying to them? He's pressing his toe because he'll put pressure on them. They'll become alert. What is this great force that is pressing against us? And he says to them, Darahu dharani dhira dhira nadola. He says, O earth, hold firm, O guardian, support the earth, hold her firm and do not shake, because what is now going to happen is a force that you haven't experienced recently. You have not experienced this force. How is this force going to come about? How is it that there's going to be a terrible vibration in the world? Ramu chahahi sankara dhanu tora. Ram has decided that he wants to break this great bow of Bhagwan Shankar. The force of that is going to shake everything. Therefore, you must hold firm. Ho hu sa jagaha suni ayasu mora. Please listen very, very carefully to my command and be ready. Because if you don't hold steady, there's going to be destruction. You need to be able to absorb this force and keep the earth steady. Chapa samita Ramu Saba Aya. Bhagwan Shri Ram now goes very, very near to the bow. Nara Narinaha Sura Sukruta Manaye. Now the ladies and the men of Mithila, what happened to them? They started to pray. Our children are going to write exams. What do? We start praying. And how do we pray? We praying to the various forms of Bhagwans. We call them Devatas and Devis. So here it says Sura. Sura means Devatas. So they praying to the Devatas, and how they praying? Look at how their kind of sacrifice for success. They are saying, Sukrita Manaye, take the good that we have accumulated through our good actions and use that strength, use up those good deeds of ours so that our Ram becomes successful. So most of us pray and we want to take our good deeds and keep it for ourselves. So our future is positive, we benefit from it, etc. These people are saying, take all our good deeds and use it for the purposes of making Ram successful. Sabakara san sahu aru agyanuhu. All those that had gathered there who had sanshay, doubts in their mind, and some of them were also agyani. They were foolish people. Manda mahipana. Some of the kings who had gathered there also were foolish. They were not intelligent enough to realize that this is Bhagwan and to surrender to him rather than to be jealous of him. Our Abhimanu, some of these kings had a lot of arrogance. See, people who hold lofty positions in society, sometimes they gather arrogance. And what does the arrogance do? It prevents you from seeing the truth. Then Tulsidas ji goes on to say, Brigapati keri garaba garuaye suramuni varanaha keri kadharai. Says now, this pretense of Parshuram. So Parshuramji, you must remember, came there very angry. Who has lifted this bow of Shiva? Who has done this? This was in my care and nobody should be doing this. But in reality, it was a pretense, according to Tulsidasji, because he says, Parshuram and Ram are one and the same. They were just playing different roles. Parshuram and Ram. One was engaging in a certain kind of behavior to show the prominence and the importance of the other one. One had come for a specific purpose and was now taking a lesser role, and he was introducing the other one. And while I am calling them separate, they were actually one, Ram or Parshuram. Okay? And also he goes on to say, Suramuni Varanaha Keri Kadarahi. Even the gods who became very, very worried and anxious, is he going to string the bow? What is going to happen? Siyakara Sochu. And of course, the worry of Mother Sita, who has also had some kind of nervousness. Please make sure he breaks the bow because he's the only one I want. and I don't want anybody else. Or Janaka Pachitawa. Janak ji had some remorse. Pachitawa means to regret. He had a little bit of regret. Why did I take such a stringent vow that my daughter will only marry the person who is able to string the bow of Bhagwan Shankar? He loved his Ladali Beti so much. He loved Mata Sita so much. And he really believed that her happiness, remember he was aging, he believed that her happiness was therefore going to lie in with a good man that he can hand her over to, then he knows he is safe. And of course, most fathers are like this, all of us. What is it that we want? We want our daughters to be happy, but we also want to guide them to make sure that they end up with the right kind of partner that is nice and compatible to them, and is of course a dharmic person. And that will make a father very, very happy, to bring him absolute joy, knowing that when he's not here to take care of his darling daughter, there is a good man in his stead. Ranina Karadaruna Dukadava, the Ranis, the queens, they were actually had agony. What is going to happen now? Sambu Chapa Bada Bo Hitupahi, Bade Jai Sangu Banahi. All these things I mentioned, Tulsidas ji took it and he put it into the bark. A bark means a trunk of a tree that you can carve a boat out of. Tulsidas, she says, all these things here are making a boat. And what does the boat want to do? The boat wants to go across the ocean of the great ocean. This boat wants to go. But Tulsidas ji is saying, you can have the best boat. If there's no captain to steer that boat in the right direction across the ocean, you are going to fail. There'll be no direction for the boat, neither will the boat be safe. He says, and that, who is that? Rama Bahubala Sindhu Aparu. Ram is the only one who can take us across the ocean. And if we are able to do it using this ideology or this figurative idea that Ram is that boat, then we will go across. But if Ram is not that boat, then it is something superficial and we should not worry about it. Similarly, he's saying, why are all these people worrying? Why are they worrying? Because there should be no doubts in their mind that the Lord of all this creation is most certainly going to string the bow of Bhagwan Shiv. If Mata Sita has appeared in this home, there is only one that is destined for her. And therefore Tulsidas ji is saying, if Sri Ramchandra Bhagwan is not in that ship, it will never sail. But the fact that he is here means that he is going to be successful. Ram Biloku Loga Sabha. Before Sri Ramji picked up the bow, he looked at everybody. Okay? Chitra likhe se dekhi. And he found that all of them were motionless. They became absolutely still and focused. This is the kind of tension that was existing there. This is the kind of amazement. I think what we must also put into perspective is the greatness of Bhagwan Shiv's bow. Somebody once, one of the texts describes the appearance of Bhagwan Shiv. And if I remember correctly, it says that when Bhagwan Shiv appeared on earth, gave darshan to somebody, his height was the height 2.5 horses high in height. Now, if that is the height of Bhagwan Shiv, what would be the size of his bow? Firstly. Secondly, Bhagwan Shiv is Ananta Avinashi. He cannot be destroyed. He's Ananta. He's endless. We can't measure his strength. Now, for him to lift that bow and string that bow, nobody else would be capable of it unless it is that same divinity coming in another form. And this is what we are seeing here. This is the spectacle. Everybody knows the greatness of Bhagwan Shiv. They know the greatness, and obviously they're seeing the size of his bow and the weight of his bow. And therefore, this is a spectacle for them. Chita hi siya kripayatanaha Jani Bikala Biseshi. After looking at everybody else, Sri Ram then turns his eyes towards Mother Sita, and he noticed that she is in distress, she is nervous, she is stressing. Dear devotees, it is stress that kills us. But remember that when Bhagwan puts his glance on you, like he has put his glance on these people and on Mother Sita, you must know that the stress is going to come to an end. It's going to come to an end. So it is Ram that is able to remove our stresses. It is Ram that is able to remove the weight of the bow that is on our shoulders. And therefore, we should all sing the praises of Prabhu Shri Ram. We should recite his Ramcharitmanas. Take your mind away from everything else and de-stress yourself. Katha visarjano hota hai, suno veera Hanuman, आसन को प्रभु जाइए, सिया सखा सहित भगवान, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय. Dhiraj Bhai, have you managed to get a bhajan, or would you like me to recite something instead?
No, we're back online now. You can go ahead. Michelle will play the bhajan.
Thank you. Play the bhajan and then we'll go on to Aarti, etc. Thank you.
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम् अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम् रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम् अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं भक्त मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं भक्त मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं पैर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं पैर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम् अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम् रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् कौन कहते हैं भगवान सोते नहीं कौन कहते हैं भगवान सोते नहीं माँ यशोदा के जैसे सुलाते नहीं माँ यशोदा के जैसे सुलाते नहीं अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम् कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं कौन कहते हैं भगवान के जैसे नचाते नहीं, तुम गोपियों के जैसे नचाते नहीं। अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभं, राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभं, राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्। ओम सीताराम पवन सुत हनुमान, राधे कृष्ण की जय। शारदे मां, हे शारदे मां, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे मां। हे शारदे मां, हे शारदे मां, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे मां। तू स्वर्ग की देवी है, संगीत तुझसे, हर शब्द तेरा है, हर गीत तुझसे। आ तू स्वर्ग की देवी है, संगीत तुझसे, हर शब्द तेरा है, हर गीत तुझसे। हम हैं अकेले, हम हैं अधूरे, तेरे शरण हम, हमें प्यार दे माँ। हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ। मुनियों ने समझी, दुनियों ने जानी, वेदों की भाषा, पुराणों की वाणी। आ मुनियों ने समझी, दुनियों ने जानी, वेदों की भाषा, पुराणों की वाणी। हम भी तो समझे, हम भी तो जाने, विद्या का हमको अधिकार दे माँ। हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ। तू श्वेत वर्णी कमल पे विराजे, हाथों में वीणा, मुकुट सर पे साजे। आ तू श्वेत वर्णी कमल पे विराजे, हाथों में वीणा, मुकुट सर पे साजे। मन से हमारे मिटाते अंधेरे, हमको उजालों का संसार दे माँ। हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ। अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ। ओम सीताराम पवन सुत हनुमान, राधे कृष्ण की जय। जय जगदीश हरे, स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे। भक्तजनों के संकट, भक्तजनों के संकट, शरण में दूर करे। ओम जय जगदीश
कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। मङ्गलं भगवान् विष्णुः मङ्गलं गरुडध्वज मङ्गलं पुण्डरीकाक्ष मङ्गलाय तनोहरि। सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके गौरी नारायणी नमोस्तुते नारायणी नमोस्तुते नारायणी नमोस्तुते। ओम यानि कानि च पापानि जन्मान्तरकृतानि च तानि तानि विनश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणा पदे पदे। ओम सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम असतो मा सद्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मामृतं गमया। ओम पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम अपराध सहस्राणि क्रियन्ते अहर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व परमेश्वर। आवाहनं न जानामि विसर्जनं पूजां च विजानामि क्षमस्वेति परमेश्वर। अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्य भावेन रक्ष त्वं परमेश्वर। बोलिए विघ्नहर्ता गणेश भगवान की जय। जगत जननी पार्वती माता की जय। शिव शंकर भगवान की जय। सीता रामचंद्र भगवान की जय, लक्ष्मण जी की जय, महावीर स्वामी बजरंग बली की जय, श्री लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की जय, श्री बालकृष्ण भगवान की जय, गंगा यमुना सरयू सरस्वती मैया की जय, श्री राधे कृष्ण भगवान की जय, सब पितर देव की जय। ओम नमः पार्वती पतये, हर हर महादेव हर। जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे श्याम। जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण।